Today is Monday, October 18th, and it's 12:52 p.m. Eastern Time. This is the daily chart for BIONTECH, ticker symbol BNTX. And as of today's trading, it's currently at $253.02. And for the session, it's currently up $5.34. So what I saw here on the daily chart, so this is today's candlestick right here. So looking left, there is this gap here where price closed at $272.99, and the next trading session, it opened below where it closed, and that was at $251. So from where it closed, it was about a $20 drop. Okay, and here's another gap over here as well. So typically what happens when there's a gap down or a gap up, depending on the direction, price will reverse itself to fill that gap. So here is this gap right there, and here's this gap right here. This is a smaller gap, but it still needs to get filled. The market is very efficient that wherever there's a gap, price will fill itself back. So here's an example, right? So here, there's a gap, right? There was a gap up, but then price eventually came down right here with this wick, filled the gap, right? So I closed it up, but momentum carried it down and eventually, just consolidated a little bit and then drop even more, creating these two additional gaps. So is there a likelihood that price will be filling this gap? Yeah, I would think so, but it's really difficult to say as to when this gap would be filled. But looking at this candlestick, it looks like this could be the start of a push towards the upside to possibly fill at least this gap in the short-term time frame. So with that, I also identified 3 local support and resistance levels. And the first level I identified, let me just clean this up a little bit here. Support, resistance. First one I identified is 232.90. And you can see that price was supported at this price level here. And if I go left, price was rejected here, right? So there was resistance all through this time period at the 232.90 price level. Now, the second level I identified, let me just the second level I identified is 256 even. So right now price is slightly below it, right? So here resistance is 256, price is currently at 253, so it's $3. So here, you can see that price has been respecting this price level. However, if price does get above it, I think he has a good chance of running it a bit more higher, or maybe to the 280 level, possibly fill the gap, consolidate, and maybe have another leg towards the upside, or consolidate further and then retest 256. So anyway, the third level I identified, which I think is relevant to this assessment, is 279.05. So looking left, again, these levels are just based on touch points. Also here, there's a small little gap which coincides with this gap here as well. So if it does go up, then it'll fill both gaps here and here. Let me just make note of this here. Again, it's not as wide as the other ones, but it's a gap. So with all this being said, I am anticipating a move towards the upside to at least fill this gap. Now, my time frame, again, no one knows how long this could take. So what I did was took a high risk entry involving option contracts that expires this Friday, October 22nd, which is essentially 4 trading days away. And I did pick up the 267.5 strike price, right? So price is trading at 254. I'm anticipating that price would be at or above 267.5 on or before October 22nd. I did pick up 3 contracts. My contract price is $1.61 or $161 per contract. And it's slightly, it's still ranging. This was down about as much as $50 at one point. So it's pretty much back to par. So that's the rationale for this entry and this assessment. Again, this is just a high risk trade because typically I would buy time when buying options because of time decay. I prefer to have something like 2 weeks out or more, but this is a really high risk trade because this is less than 5 days. So as the trade develops, what I'll do is I'll try and record the next update, possibly where, hopefully prices are already testing 279, and at that point the option contracts would be in the money. So until the next update, I'll see you. Today is October 19th, and it's 9:28 a.m. The market's going to open in less than a minute, and this is just an update for BNTX. So in the initial recording, just a recap, I identified these gaps. So I was anticipating a gap fill, right? So with that, price would be trending towards the upside to fill these gaps. It's been less than 24 hours since I entered this trade, and right now price closed at 261.09 yesterday, but pre-market, if I toggle down to the 15-minute time frame, pre-market, there's been a lot of trading activity. That price right now is at 272.91. So with that, my option contracts for 267.5 should be in the money. And looking at it early this morning, right here, it is categorized or designated ITM for in the money. So the market's going to open in 4 seconds. I just want to see what it's up now because yesterday it closed at 450. There's the market open. So there you go. The contracts is now up $2,528, of which $2,000 was just from this morning, and it's still running up. So I'm very tempted to close this trade out. But there's only 3 days remaining, so there's still time for this to go even higher. But it's just a matter of trade management at this point. If I go back to the chart, so here we have another gap up. This is a gap up. So again, this is just like the first 30 seconds of the trading. So anything could happen. Price could come down or price could keep going up. But now that there's a gap here, right? So there's a double gap at this price range. So that's interesting. So could this be another reversal, right? But again, I'm so tempted to close this trade out, maybe even sell one to cover the entire trade itself. But again, that's going to be a matter of trade managing. So that's the update for now. And yeah, so this morning stock is up $14.81 and currently trading at $275.51. So yeah, I'll do another update. I may sell one contract, but we'll see. All right, be back. Today is Thursday, October 21st, and it's 10:03 a.m. So the market's been open a little over 30 minutes now, And this is just a quick update. So BIONTECH, BNTX is trading at 276.59, and for the morning it's up $7 and a little $7. So it's right here. So it's making a second test of the 279.05 support resistance level that I had identified. So concerning that these contracts expire tomorrow, I'm going to go ahead and close these contracts. But in the meantime, I did add 2 other contracts that expire next Friday with a 305 strike. So it's making some money, but again, because these contracts expire tomorrow, there's only 1 day left, I'm going to go ahead and close this out at the $9.60 level. So I'm going to close this out now. So $9.60. I'm going to go ahead and close 2. Well, I'm going to close all 3. $9.70. And I just want to see if it goes up a little bit more. That's okay. So here's my profit, 2,900. Sold at 970. So that was a good trade. I was only in the trade for 4 days. So I have these contracts here that are my runners for going into next week. So even if price does continue to go higher, let's say it punches through, because here's another gap that I'm looking for price to fill. So this gap right here, and the gap, there was a gap here. Let me just get that. There was a gap. This was a gap early Tuesday, but it was filled when price dropped. So this gap has been filled by this candlestick. So it's now a matter of filling this gap. So if price does get up here prior to October 29th, then the 2 contracts that I picked up should be as profitable as well. So it was a good trade. It was a good assessment on my part. But because I think there's volatility going into next week, price may consolidate over here for a few days. So of course I'm going to continue monitoring this. So price is now trading at 278. Yeah, so it's a good trade. What I'll do is I'll update the second contracts separately, if I have the chance, but I'll go ahead and post this one today. And again, my target is this gap right here. So this gap was filled by this candlestick right here, and so it's just a matter of this gap right now. So yeah, so until the next trade, I'll see you.